Recognizes Councilor Coletta. Councilor Coletta, you have the floor.
Thank you, President Flynn. I seek to add Councilor Braden as second co-sponsor, and then suspend Rule 12 and add Councilor Flaherty as third.
Councilor Coletta, we're not able to add Councilor Braden because she's not present.
She's not here. Okay. Well then, Councilor Flaherty.
We could add Councilor Flaherty.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Councilor Flaherty is added. The chair recognizes Councilor Coletta.
Thank you so much. Councilor Braden expressed interest in helping me with this. So I'm calling this hearing to discuss efforts and resource allocation related to digitizing and tracking parking regulations in the city of Boston. The catalyst for this was a recent meeting with BTD discussing parking enforcement in my district. Enforcement has been a top priority of residents. I get calls all the time, particularly from the Jeffreys Point Neighborhood Association, and just given the fact that we have a high level of density and very small amount of parking spaces per units, and many airport travelers utilize our streets to store their cars while they go on a trip. And this allows them to avoid paying airport lot fees. And so we really need a strong enforcement system in East Boston and just in other dense areas in my community, especially the North End and also Charlestown. In conversation, I wanted to get a snapshot of what our parking regulations are to assess if we have adequate enforcement levels and if we need a budget push for more positions. I was told that we do not have an inventory of where our signs are or what they say. There is no tracking system that we can pull up to identify where residential parking, 2-hour parking, or commercial parking is, let alone what the hours are, like I mentioned. In 2023, I think that this is crazy to me that we don't have a modernized system that we can pull up like a GIS or a tracking system to give us a full accounting of where our own assets are. This has led to enforcement depending on institutional knowledge being passed down from enforcement officer to enforcement officer. Ultimately, if our employees don't have the tools to best serve our streets and our residents, then their quality of life will suffer. As we enter budget season, it's important to focus on the dire needs to modernize some of our outdated internal systems that directly impact efficient city services. I'd like to utilize this opportunity to discuss what we need in terms of investment for digital tools like the GIS mapping system that allows employees and the public to access information, request services, sign up for alerts, and enforce our parking regulations at the end of the day. So I look forward to the discussion and having BTD and the Streets Cabinet at the table. Thank you.